I just want to say my name is Chris Lowe, and I am the creator and founder and executive director of the Hip Hop Alliance. And we are out there on a mission trying to secure and protect fair wages and fair royalties and strong health and retirement benefits for all of the hip hop and R&B ecosystem. All right, it's a God-centered company. Yes. And so it's hiphopalliance.org. Join us. It's free, all right? And I'll hook you up. And these are the breaks. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
Curtis Blow, Crossover TV. Hey, everybody. I just want to say thank you for joining me live on Crossover TV. We are live all over the world, www.bronxnet.org. And I just want to say you can click on channel 68, tell a friend to tell a friend. This is such a meaningful show. And, you know, just keep people in your prayers. That's what we're going to do today. But this is a meaningful show, and I had to have RAPP back. This is part 2, and I really wanted to get up close and personal with the executive director and Jose Saldana and Jeannie Colon. She's a community leader for RAPP, and you know, my buddy is at the end over here. This is my buddy. Go ahead, say something.
I'm her buddy, Cose, TDS, the graffiti artist that loves to share his experiences with the community.
Yes. You know, the one thing I love about this panel, and I set it up just this way, I was trying to get a group of young men from Arches, from Health People. Chris Norwood, thank you very much, the executive director of Health People. We get to do a lot of good work. And we're gonna postpone that for today, but we're gonna get the guys up another time. And I thought Cose would be perfect to sit in with RAPP, because Cose TDS, if you don't know, he has an article in the New York Times, and that you did some tagging on the subways, and he landed himself in jail. And I mean, he's a celebrity artist. I mean, I don't know. He might not say it was worth it, but this is who he was, except that, you know, now he gets paid for it. A lot of money. He has a painting up right now. This painting is worth $5,000. So coming from the pen to the almost a mansion, and you have a brand new place. A restaurant that you open up in PA. The grand opening is coming. And I kind of look at that place as I see all the videos and the promos and things that you sent me. It's going to be like, I mean, I see people going there for paint and sip and breakfast, or lunch and dinner, and just to know where you came from, and your life. You know, you told me your story. You told the people your story, and you've mentored. I just have to do this long intro. And what I love about him is that when I call him, he comes, and he mentored a youth group, and this is an at-risk youth group. You know, he came in and he talked to these young people. He told them his life story and just basically said, don't be me. You don't have to be that old me. You might want to be the new me. Graduation came, and I threw the kids to prom in that community center. You and Leah Sands came out along with Nate the Mime, and you guys did yearbooks, and everybody had something that looked similar to that. And that you wrote like a message in a tag, or Leah did something. And Leah has working galleries all over the world, your partner, and I just want to thank you for doing what you do. So I'm going to call on you all. RAPP, tell them what it's going to be like, Cause when I call them, tell them what it's like, because I do call, and when I call, y'all need to, you know, answer me, and you're not going to tell them what it's like, because I'm always calling.
Kendra, you know, she calls, and one of the reasons that I do really answer, even though I'm an extremely busy person, and as she said, that painting, I just completed that painting a few days ago, and this other painting down here, I completed. I got a few more in the car. I'm actually going to the art gallery and dropping those off, because there's an exhibition this week on Friday in Brooklyn, and I usually call, and when she called me, I come, because she's a very great spirit, and I love what she does. You know, she helps the community, and anytime when it comes to the community, especially black and brown people, I'm in 100 and 1,000%. I'm in because I know what it is to struggle and suffer. I know what it is to go to prison. I know what it is jail. I know what it is to be on drugs. I know it, and I overcame all of that stuff. So I have to do what I love, and this is what I love. I love to do art, and I love collaborating with great people like them, Jeannie and Jose. I just met him, but I know he's a good person.
But not really, because you met Jeannie before, and you
Absolutely.
donated some artwork to RAPP some time back, right?
Absolutely. I donated some art, and someone, won it, and that's what makes it. That's my reward, man.
Yeah.
Being able to put a smile on somebody's face and being able to plant seeds in people, especially the youth, so they can, overcome whatever trauma they might be going through.
Can I step in and say
Yes.
something about his donation?
Yes.
Release aging people in prison, we're not really funded. We're not a 501c, right? So we rely on people to, fund the organization so that we can continue the work that we do. And so I thought about him and I called him right away. He didn't even flinch. He said, absolutely, I will meet you at such and such place. And he brought artwork, but the artwork was donated to raise funds. So it was, he donated it for our gala, but it was also to raise funds so that we can continue this work. So we appreciate you.
Thank you.
And the woman who won the raffle was ecstatic. She couldn't wait to get it. And we took a photo with the artwork. So she was really happy about that. A Bronx native as well,
Yes.
who kind of
Yes.
knows about graffiti. So she appreciates it.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was great. And Staff 161 also had donated some stuff. And these are pioneers, right? These guys are pioneers with graffiti.
Well,
Yeah.
we have a lot of work to do in this community, and we were talking about a few things, but I just want to give Jose the opportunity to speak a little bit. You just came down from Albany. This is your second time on the show, and you guys are like brothers and sisters now. I just call them up all the time. My brothers and sisters. This is my brothers and sisters. We all have to be like this. I just had Vanessa Gibson up 2 weeks ago, and we just said exactly this, that we have to come together, everybody. Whatever you're going through out there, don't think that you're just sitting there going through this by yourself, because you're not. We're going through it with you. This is not about, and this platform is not even about, I'm all blinged out. It's only because I have another event. I'm really blinged out today, but really, this is all about you all out there. So I hope you have a paper and a pen, and if there's some information you can grab in any one of my programs, grab it. Cose has a show coming up. Jose wants to give some information about RAPP and what RAPP is all about. And he's the executive director. And I just want him, this is his platform. Use it.
Okay. Well, for those who don't know RAPP, we were founded in 2013 by 3 formerly incarcerated people, 1 Mujahid Fareed and 2 white women. Unusual. It's an unusual combination. You had 2 women from the leftist movement, and then you had a Muslim, Mujahid Fareed. And the vision is to end mass incarceration. That's a monumental task to have. But that was the vision that they had, because they seen that our communities were devastated by policies of mass incarceration. The prison population went from 12,000 incarcerated people to 72,000 incarcerated people. And most of these were young kids coming in. Some of you already remember that the highest office in the land called our black and brown kids super predators. Mm-hmm. And courts across the country, New York included, were giving these 16, 17-year-old kids death by incarceration sentences. And some of these kids are still in prison now. 40 years later, these kids are still in prison now. So they're just one phase of mass incarceration. Another phase is that fathers were seeing their sons come in with life sentences. So here you got 2 generations of one family doing life sentence. So RAPP was sought to address this and address it, man, so that people will have a meaningful opportunity to come home. Not die in jail, die in prison, but promote legislation that will give people a meaningful opportunity to return back to their families, to return back to our communities as life coaches, mentors, people who can actually address some of the cycle of violence in the community. Even the women could address a lot of this domestic violence in our communities. Help, because when it comes down to it, we always say that we are our own liberators, and we can't expect other people to liberate us.
Yes. You know, he's a blessing. When he gets in the studio, I mean, I really just look in awe, and I thank him. You know, I thank the organization, you know, the organizational aspect of what the those three people, and go back, say the names one more time.
Mujahid Farid, who passed away, he passed away 10 months after I was released.
Wow, he waited for you. You know, I'm gonna
appear
tell
that
you
way.
something. And spiritually, I believe in things like that. I really believe that, you know, we are all set here on a path and a purpose. We are, what do you call this, gracefully broken. But you know, everybody has a different way that they're gracefully broken. Some people will be broken for a season, maybe a week, a month. So God knows what we can handle. And some people will be broken for years, but He will make sure that you're able to withstand it and get back up, so you can move. And I believe in that. And when you said that, it came to me full circle. You know, you are supposed to do something, and you came out and you did it. You started doing it right away.
He nominated me as the executive director, the second executive director of RAPP, and the RAPP family confirmed the nomination. And that's how I became the director. And the other person, he passed away then, and then the other person who passed away a couple of years later is Kathy Boudin. Kathy Boudin was a part of one of the founders of the Weather Underground. And I'll tell you, this was a white woman who was committed to social and racial justice to the last breath. To the last breath. She did time. She did 22 years for an armored car robbery where a security guard and 2 cops were killed. She wasn't, she was just in the car. So she did 22 years for that and got out and continued to support national liberation movement, social justice movement, racial justice movement. I mean, she committed her life when she was a kid. In fact, for those who know Angela Davis, she was a classmate of Angela Davis in high school. And I'm going to just tell you a story that defines who this woman is. She was dying of cancer, 77, 78 years old. She was, I thought she recovered, but then it came back ferociously. And it just, within months, I mean, she was so sick that she lost her ability to speak. She couldn't move her limbs. She was in a bed. She was being taken care of by other people in the movement. And when I came to visit her, she seen us, me and the RAPP team, she seen us. We had a blanket that was made specifically for her. And her eyes lit up. She can't speak. Her eyes lit up. And she just stood in the bed like this. And you could see her struggling, lifting. I mean, she was just putting whatever strength she had left in her body, she just lifted up as far as she could, and then she just boiled the fish. And that was, to me, that was her last act of defiance.
Well, she passed the torch. You got to remember that we have to move this generation of people. We have to do the work that we're doing so we can pass on the torch as well. So we have to get the people in that is going to do service, right? And,
It's not
and
easy.
it's not easy, and we need funding. And I just want everybody to know, when you see these programs, you guys all have email addresses, and you do have a way that they can get in touch with you. I just want to make sure you give that information on the program. And Cose TDS, you're always doing, a gallery, a show, doing some work along with Leia Sands. So now, we have a new connection that we just continue to link up and keep this connection moving. And we have to spread this out. This is, when you said what you said, generational, lifetime services, sentences, what we want to do is get to our kids early. When I had Cose come out, and some of the kids were like 6, 7. As you know, kids are being initiated by 7, 8, 9 years old. They're already initiated in gangs already. We as women want to do as much as we can, but we sure need you fellas out there as well to carry the torch, to do the work, to do the work. And you have a brother that came up with you the last time, and you guys offered to do the work. You said, we're willing to speak, we're willing to help, we're willing to mentor, we're willing to tell our stories. It's not easy. When I said to Jose last time, I said, you don't got to tell me what you did. Just tell me what you're going to do now. Because I want to know what you're going to do now. How can we get to a group of people, young children, and put them on the right track? They're our future. Where are we going? What are we doing? And this is what, this is what's important. And I keep saying, come back, come back. Share your stories. Share it now. I mean, you all as moms, we have kids that have, went in a different direction that we don't want our children in. We don't know. Back in the day, we used to have like the big brothers, or the police officers that we knew that were friendly to, speak to the kids and get them together, give them a little shake or a look. All you got to do is look. Your parents just looked at you. They gave you a look and you got yourself together, right? But, nowadays, parents are doing the same things with the kids that they're doing. And that's where they're getting it, some of them. It's not like those moms we had back in the day. I was glad for the moms that had those big frocks on, the big dresses and, big hair. Go ahead, looking like the grandma. You don't find them, they don't look like that anymore.
Well, I mean, it's sad because it takes a village to
Most definitely.
raise, right? But that doesn't apply anymore. A lot of people just mind their own business, or if they see something, they're quick to take out the phone and videotape instead of helping out. It's the culture, right? And we need to change that. But the kids, like you said earlier, we want to reach out to the kids. And sharing the story, I think, is important because it paints the entire narrative of, I was a child just like you were. I mean, as a teenager, I remember my mom sharing stories, and in my mind, she doesn't know anything.
Exactly.
Because I couldn't envision her being young. I couldn't envision her going through the same stuff that I was going through at the moment, right? I just didn't see that. And I think that the kids now, like, they need to make the connection. Like, I was a child once upon a time. I walked the streets just like you did. I got into trouble. So you're not going to tell me anything that I'm not aware of. My husband was 17 when he was picked up and locked up for 30 years. He's still in prison. The one thing that he wishes that he can do, which he's trying to do inside, and he works with RAPP, right? However way that he can, to get more people involved inside, where they can reach out to their family members, right? Get involved.
Most definitely.
Let's stop, if he can just reach out to the youth. And like you said, don't be me. I have a story to share.
Yes.
I was in a home. You know, I was a foster kid. I understand. I'm not just talking out
Been
my
there.
butt, you
Been
know?
there.
And I think that kids can relate, right? Because you're just not talking just to talk at them. I want to share something with you. This is what I've been through, so I know. You know what I'm
What do you
saying?
think
And
these
so,
kids are? I mean, as I go back and I look back, and I think about me, my life. You know, I don't share. Oh, why don't you write a book, Kendra? I'm trying to save lives right now. I'm gonna write this book as soon as I get a chance. I'm gonna sit down and write a book. But you know, honestly, I'm just trying to save lives right now. We can change lives right now during this single broadcast. We're changing lives right now. I was a kid. I was in foster care, moved all over the place, sexually molested as a child. These children, you think it skips a generation?
No.
It's these kids are being molested and raped right now. Why do you think, you know, I look at both sides of every coin, right? And you think about it and you say, why? Because at the end of the day, the workers sometimes don't want to take them because foster care may be worse than what they're going through at home. We have some issues in our society, you know, and that's why on this program I keep it real. I share my story. I had a brother and a sister, and we went through some horrendous things. And my mom just said, I can't. I need to take care of myself. I can't do it right now. I'm not focused. I'm not there. I'm gonna. She thought she was doing a kind deed. Nobody took us. She placed us for a brief moment. And my God, you know, as soon as she found out what was going on, and most of the kids are scared to say what's happening.
Yeah.
And those kids, you know, they go on to do, whatever they're going to do. Some turn out all right. You know, what doesn't kill us make us stronger, right? They say, you
Yes.
hear this saying all the time. So my thing is, moving on in this generation of things, we have to be the role models. We have to tell our stories. Because once we don't keep it hidden, I mean, speak it out. Speak the truth. Tell the truth. Let's be better individuals. Cose, he comes up here, he will tell his story. Yeah, I went to jail. This is what I did. Yes, I used drugs. You know, and he's real with it. He will be honestly 100%. There's no shame. There's no whatever. And I think that's what I'm looking for. We got to just be real. What are we going to do now, though, as this organization and many other organizations? You know, what are we going to do right now?
so
Jose.
So we do what we will, you know, we evolved from the prison system, you know, so we have some solutions to all the problems in our community. We are part of the solution. The one thing we can't do what they done to us. They threw our kids away like they were garbage. Mm-hmm. We got to go there and rescue our kids. Mm-hmm. We cannot do what they did and ignore the plight of our youth. You know, we have that responsibility. Those of us who survived everything they threw at us, we have responsibility to teach our kids how to survive this system. Not just survive, but overcome it. Mm-hmm. Because when I was in prison, what I used to see in these kids, just getting to know them for a few years, you get to see something special about all of them. Every one of these kids that I ran into that came in there doing a life sentence, I saw a special talent, a special skill in them that they didn't see. Mm-hmm. But once they saw it, once they started believing in themselves, they became brilliant. They became brilliant. I mean, I know a kid that came in, Phil, one of our community leaders' brother. He came in, 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
He got sentenced to 48 years to life. This guy's a brilliant jailhouse lawyer. A brilliant jailhouse lawyer, could barely read and write when he came in. So, you know, there's something there that we just can't give up on them. None of them. We gotta really develop programs that could help them develop into the best people that they really are. Whether it's best girl, best boy, best in between, whatever it is, we gotta help because everybody else failed them. So we can't leave that task on other people, other institutions. That task belongs to us and we have to embrace it.
Thank you. So you offered service to come and speak to at-risk youth to me, and also I spoke to health people about you all coming up. So I am truly looking forward to see what we can help you with as well. And when you go up to Albany, I want to get a chance to like try my best to get up to Albany. But if you see this audio of our and video of our going to Albany with Isaiah, my son Isaiah, who is gonna be tough. That's why I say always to Jose, look, can you send me videos of you guys in Albany? Because I want the world to know what you're doing out there. And that's very important to me.
How old is Isaiah?
Isaiah's 19.
Okay.
All right. He has autism and he has epilepsy. And, you know, I think this whole community, I was receiving an award one year. And even when the borough president was here the other last week, she said, "Where's Isaiah?" I said, "He's home." You know, this community knows him and they know autism and they know epilepsy. And I wanted people to know that you have to meet people where they are.
Absolutely.
And accept them for who they are.
Absolutely.
And everywhere that we go, they basically know him. But not just my son. I want them to know when all of the kids. And so we have a lot to do, and we're going to get together. And we were talking about this. I just want to ask a little bit about this, getting on a different note, because it was very horrific. When I watched this video, I was so, I don't like to say angry, because I don't want to use the term angry, but I was not happy about it. I was not happy about what I saw. Now, I have interviewed Gwen Carr, which is Eric Garner's mother, that died in a chokehold. And I love the Bell family. We're really good friends. The Sean Bell family. I call them the Sean Bell family. William Bell and Valerie Bell. They're both authors. Sean Bell was killed by police officers. And that's how enraged, I was kind of enraged when I saw this clip. And we're not going to show it at this particular moment. We're going to look for something softer to show. But I'm pretty much not. Yeah, we have to. That cannot be. And what did you say? Tell me a little bit about this story, because this is something personally that you've been working on and
With
speaking
Robert
to the
Brooks?
parents. Yes.
Yes.
Robert Brooks was serving 12 years for an assault. 12 years for an assault. He allegedly stabbed his girlfriend. They got into an argument, and sadly, she survived the stab wounds. So he got sentenced to 12 years for that. And at 43 years old, he was beaten to death by a mob of prison guards who just beat him like he was an animal. I mean, they did everything to him to take his life. They even stuffed stuff down his throat so he can't breathe. Choked him, kicked him, punched him.
While he was handcuffed.
And he was handcuffed, while he was handcuffed. So they can't say that they were fearful for their lives, that their lives were at risk. And the thing is that this happens all the time. This is just not one time that they've done this. They've done this. Our prison system is run by corporal punishment, sexual violence, and it's being hidden, it's being covered up by the highest office of the state. So we're trying to expose this so that it no longer happens. We're trying to expose this by educating our communities at what goes on in the prison system with people's loved ones, because people in prison have families. So we're just trying to really build a tool to educate people so that they know what's going on, and they will fight that to stop it from happening, continuing to happen into another generation.
Thank you so much. And what can the public do? What can we do? I know you're telling what you're doing to reach out. Who you're reaching out to, Senate or?
We reaching out first to the public, to our communities, so that our communities will know what's happening, and we want our communities to denounce this type of violence in the prison system. The same way we saw George Floyd, the masses of people denouncing this, and then those responsible were held accountable. We want our community to rise up and denounce this type of brutal violence and sexual violence in our prison system. Today's sexual offense is happening primarily to women and girls in the prison system.
Okay.
No one is immune. And when a woman comes in, no one is immune from sexual violence. It's the same thing in the men's prison. No one is immune from being brutally beaten by the prison guards.
Right, we have a lot to do. I mean, and so, and what happened from Robert Brooks, that story? What has been so far? Is there been anything that's happened? Any charges? Any?
Yeah.
Jeannie?
Yeah. So they've all been indicted, 7 officers, 2 nurses who stood by and watched the beating and did nothing to aid him. And so I believe what's happening now, there's so much to unfold here, but as a result of the brutal beating and the death of Robert Brooks and the indictment, what's happening now is correctional officers have gone rogue, if you will, and have gone on a wildcat strike, unauthorized by the union. And as a result, incarcerated loved ones are suffering because they walked out on their jobs, right? I mean, they took an oath to uphold the law and safeguard these individuals that are wards of the state. But yet they want to now demand safer conditions when the ones that are at risk are our loved ones, really. They're opposing cameras. Why? They want to continue to brutalize our loved ones inside. They're demanding to repeal, halt the Solitary Confinement Act, right? It's like, it's inhumane to put people in a box for decades. Corrections does not correct. They really do not. It's men like Cose and Jamel and many others that have created programs for themselves.
Well, we're so from where I'm standing, we're in a broken system that needs to be corrected, and this has been broken forever. Like I was doing that interview, and I said, in society, it's just a broken system, and it just goes on, and you can go back 10, 20, 30 years, and it's really, it feels like we're going back.
And I have to tell you, before we got on, my husband called me. He's Jose Colon. He's currently at Sing Sing Correctional. He called me to tell me that someone committed suicide just a few hours ago because they've been locked in, which is another form of torture. Like, they're not...
So solitary...
Yeah.
Confinement.
Well, they've all been locked in because of the walkout. Mm-hmm. So the strike has caused a lot of hardship to the incarcerated population. And they've been locked in their cells for most of the days. How long has it been now? About 6 or 7 days?
Yeah, about 7 days. Well, the correction guards walked out. It's illegal for them to strike. They just walked out the job. The governor called in the National Guards to go into the prisons to make sure everybody's okay in the prisons. But that creates a hardship. See, they're complaining that this whole solitary law, which was signed into law by our legislators and the governor, and what the halt does is they say you cannot put a man or woman in solitary confinement for more than 15 days. That's torture. The UN defines that as torture. It's called the Mandela Rule. You can't put a pregnant woman in solitary confinement. You can't put a woman that's nursing a child in solitary confinement. You can't put someone that has disabilities, mental health disabilities, in solitary confinement. You can't put a person with physical disabilities. You have people in wheelchairs, they're paralyzed. You can't put them in solitary confinement. This is what this law does. And they don't want to obey it. the Department of Corrections does not want to obey this law. So they're saying that they're going out on strike to have this law repealed because they want to continue to put anybody they want in solitary confinement. And now they're saying that they are the victims because this law is making dangerous conditions for them. They're just trying to reverse the narrative. The narrative is that they are brutalizing people.
How do we turn this around? Because it's got to be like some kind of a solution. We've got to, as you said, the men have set up programs, and the ladies have set up programs inside. But how do we fix this broken prison system? Because it has to be safe. Not every corrections officer.
No.
It's a bad guy.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Or a woman is a bad.
Right.
I have a friend that's
Yes.
is a corrections.
I have family too.
That's corrections
Yeah.
officer. So, how do we make it safe for them to come to work and go home?
We start by recognizing their humanity. And that's the law right now in New York.
Okay.
That is the law.
Incarcerated. Okay. This is
we
good.
fought-
This is good because I
We
want.
fought for that law, and that's the law right now.
Okay. Well, a lot of people, I'm sure,
Yeah.
They're not aware of it.
do not know, but that's okay because we want the community and the public. We are live all over the world. www.bronxnet.org. We're live globally, and we just want everybody to know the correct term. And thank you so much for doing that.
And look, we have to realize and come to terms that racism is real, and it's more real in a prison setting than it is outside our society. So we have to eliminate that. We have to eliminate that legacy of racism from every institution in the state, all the country. But first, we have to acknowledge that it exists.
Most definitely.
And that is a big first step. Because once you acknowledge that it exists, then you can start designing alternatives that are not built on dehumanizing people, brutalizing people, and killing them.
Most definitely.
We could design humane systems where we can deal. We did it. I was in prison for a very violent crime. I didn't do 38 years for singing too loud in the choir. None of us did all this time for singing too loud in the choir. All of us that's out here doing progressive, meaningful things in our community were convicted for violent crimes, and we was able to rehabilitate ourselves. The Department of Corrections didn't rehabilitate us. We did it ourselves. So that tells us that we are our own liberators. We can liberate ourselves from destructive thinking and destructive behavior. We do not need the state to put a boot on us to make us act right.
Okay. All right.
And releasing people.
Okay.
Prisons are overpopulated. We have the elder parole bill. We have the fair and timely parole. The governor has executive power to grant clemencies. Like, why isn't she releasing people? She released one person on clemency for a drug offense. But what about those violent offenders that have changed, right? Because the one thing that will never change is the nature of the crime. And so people do change. And there are many statistics that show that people age out of crime. And so we need to start decarcerating, allowing people who have an opportunity to come back and give back to their community, have a meaningful life, right? Like pay their taxes and give back. If we're releasing elders, they're running geriatrics inside with no medical facilities. There's just no way to treat the type of ailments that are taking place now, and it's costing the state billions of dollars. Where if you release people, they're going to save so much money. And so, there's just so many ways, right? And, and it starts with what Jose was saying,
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Yeah. Cose, now I'm going to let Cose TDS take the last word. And then I'm going to, wait, before we go to your Cose, can I just get their email addresses or somewhere, the website or something that people can go to so they can reach out to you?
That's RAPP. That's RAPP campaign.com. RAPP campaign.com. You go into our RAPP website and you'll know everything about us, about RAPP, about us as individuals, all the events that happen, and all the events that are about to happen.
We're also on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter or X. You can find the same thing, RAPP campaign.
RAPP campaign. RAPP. Oh, what does RAPP stand for?
Release aging people in prison.
Okay. Just wanted to make it clear because you know all these acronyms. All right. So Cose TDS. Can you close me out?
I just want to add to what they're saying. I support everything they say because, like I said, I'm a formerly incarcerated individual myself. I did a good portion of my life incarcerated, and I was able to overcome things that are intentionally placed in our hoods, in our society, especially black and brown people. Certain obstacles that are placed there that people don't know, and I am in support of continuing to educate society, neighborhoods that are not as fortunate as middle America or suburban America, where they have better schools. They don't have liquor stores everywhere in every corner you go to. I actually was driving on the way here, and I saw, we're actually going to report it. There's a liquor store right next to the school. It was on Southern Boulevard, but it was like about 10 feet away, and that's illegal in the state of New York. I don't know how that happened. But, I'm about all that stuff. I'm about educating the people, the masses, and injustices. And, we need to continue to expose this and educate ourselves, because I believe that's one of the keys for us to overcome a lot of the obstacles that are placed in our communities. There's things that are not taught in our schools, in mainstream media. We have to educate ourselves. And I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be here and sharing my experience.
I want to thank you, Cose TDS, and this is my buddy. As I said, I have some new buddies, and I just want to do this. You have a show coming up, and tell us about that so people can come out.
I'm doing an exhibit in Brooklyn. The address it's actually this Friday. Let me get my phone open.
Well, we're looking at your artwork. I don't know if we could get a little, touch it. Let me see what touching $5,000 feels like. Woo, I better be careful.
So it's called the Brooklyn Pop-Up. It's a one-day show, one night only, on Friday the 28th from 6 to 10. It's at 72 Willoughby Street in Brooklyn, New York, 11201. And it's an all-city tour that's going to happen, and these will be for sale. Train. That one will be for sale.
Pelham
this
Bay.
will be for sale. And I have a few other paintings in the car that'll be for sale. So if you want to come by and you want to meet me, you want to talk to me about the paintings, artwork, or whatever you want to talk about, come through. I'll be there.
I love you, Cose. Thank you, baby.
Love you too.
And to the beautiful Leia Sands, his partner in crime, just a big shout out. You also have a restaurant kind of like, give me the vibe of this.
We actually have a cafe that we are working on right now at the Poconos, and we're still waiting for one permit. It's from the state of Pennsylvania, and soon we'll have a grand opening. It's called a Canvas Cafe, where we're gonna have live art, music, and a bunch of other things that we're gonna come up with. But we'll have a grand opening soon, and I will keep Kendra updated. Maybe
I'll be in the building.
And,
I'll be out there. I'm
let
coming.
you guys know. Maybe one of you guys or some of you guys can come out and support us.
Yep. Listen, I always tell them, I'm like, oh, you could do this. Oh, you could do this in the restaurant. So, like, the cafe, it's beautiful. Look, here we go. Check it out. Oh, that's you guys.
Yeah.
That's Cose giving them, look, donating your artwork
Yes.
with RAPP. You showing off. You showing off. Well, I'm gonna head out to PA. I'll be out there. I'm in your building. You can't stop me. I'm coming. All right, I'll be out there. All right. Now, I'm following Rap out. You're gonna see. Can you put some photos up of Rap? I sent the Albany's. I want to see you guys out in Albany. We may just close out with them. Can we do that? Can we close out with the photos? Yes. Oh, okay. That's BronxNet. Wait. That's another day of advocacy. We all fighting up there in Albany. That's me out there with my network, BronxNet. Audrey Duncan, I love you forever. 22 years up here. Upstate, Eminem, Brick, my son Isaiah. Oh, I stopped in on domestic violence. I was out there. I said, hey, wait a minute. Can I get an interview? You know, I go to work anywhere, and that's amazing. Look at all those folks out there for domestic violence. Oh, I ran into Senator. Yeah, I know that's it looks a little crazy right now. I said, Lou, remember we was with the collard greens? He said, collard greens. Yeah. We were out there serving collard greens and serving Sean Bell's family. I always call him my Sean Bell family. William Bell's birthday party, but me and John Lou, we were actually Senator Lou, we were side by side. I'm serving, he's serving their food. So that means we love the Bell family. All right. But I want to thank you all for joining us. It's been amazing. Did we get to them? Because let's get to their clip. Okay, we're going to get to your clip and we're going to close out with it. I want to tell you once again, thank you for joining me. And I'm learning some new things up here.
Yeah,
that's why we have to do these shows.
Thank you for having us. It is really important to keep sharing, it's so important.
Yes, and one more time, can you give me the information for people to reach out?
It's RAPP Campaign, RAPP campaign.com.
Okay.
I think it's the same, RAPP Campaign on IG and Facebook.
All right, so we will be, this girl will be right back and next week, and we're going to do some amazing shows coming this year, because in 2025, I promise you guys the work. So we are going to do the work. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We're going to close out. They're going to find the clips and put them up, and they're going to close us out. And I want to say thank you so much, Cose TDS. And we want to wish you luck on your show. And you can always donate some more art. They can do another fundraiser. They need money, honey. So we can always do another, I know he will. He's like, Kendra. Look at All right, everybody. We're going to close out. You'll see this in just a minute, but we're going to say goodnight. And there, just introduce the clip for Albany. Introduce what happened in Albany.
This was our advocacy day
for RAPP.
Oh, we brought up almost 600 people up there at Albany. These are people that are part of the RAPP campaign, and we brought a marching band up there. And a marching band. That's right.
I love it. You guys are dope.
We shut down the corridor.
I love it.
And we did a lot of legislative meetings.
I love it. I love you guys.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Lock your doors. We'll see you next week.
Survivors matter! Survivors matter! Survivors matter! Hi, everybody. You're truly Kendra here. We're here for Advocacy Day. You know how they say take your kids to work day? Well, I'm taking my kids to work. So where are we? In Albany on a field trip, right? And what are we doing today? We are at Crossover TV and BronxNet. And we're celebrating every member of the community, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to say to everyone in the community, we are out here for BronxNet, and we've been around BronxNet over 30 years with all the independent access producers. We've been up since early this morning. But I want to do this. I want to say thank you, Michael Max Nobby and BronxNet, and every person at BronxNet. Isaiah, can you look at the camera and say thank you?
Thank you.
All right. Say autism.
Autism.
Say diabetes.
Diabetes.
That's what we're fighting for. That's one of our biggest plights. Domestic violence and so much more. Meet my doctors, meet my pastor, my bishop, Dr. Bishop Timothy Burkett, Bishop Laurel, Pastor Larry, and also I want to say to Pastor Ratliff, thank you so much for coming on board to a show that's not your conventional stage show. We love you. Pastor Ratliff.
Yours truly, Kendra here. We're still live. We're out here in Albany, and it's all about Advocacy Day to save, we need funding for BronxNet. And I just want to say thank you so much to Senator Luke for taking time out to say a few words on Crossover TV. We were last together serving up some food for the Sean Bell family. So for William Bell, it was his birthday, and we were actually standing next to each other. I said, "Wait, I know you. You there? We both serving their food for them, and that's how humble."
I do greens.
You do greens.
Collard greens.
See.
Yes.
See.
Yes.
Now, when you voting, you take that into consideration.
Listen, collard greens.
Collard greens.
Well, great to see you. Thanks for coming up to Albany to advocate. You
Yes,
know, it's
yes.
not easy. There's
Yes.
a lot of things going on today.
So, what do you want to tell them, Senator Blue, your plight for we're in an election year, 2025 is our election year, and hopefully we can get a few things done with all the madness going
Yeah,
on
I
around
mean,
us.
it is. It's every year is an election year. This year is an election year for city elections. Next year will be a state and federal again. And it's I don't know what to say about elections except that everybody's got to get their butts out to the poll because what's happening down in Washington, it's like the whole world's turned upside down. So we need to pay so much more attention to what's happening and get out there. We need people on the streets taking action and always fighting and advocating for them, just like you're doing.
I love it. I was out here, I got a little pen for the I
Yes,
stopped
we
by the
want to
bench.
stop domestic violence.
Yes,
We have a number of pieces of legislation going through.
Yes, I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, it's Julie Kendra here, Crossover TV. We are up here in Albany for Advocacy Day. And when I catch up with the important people that make important decisions for our community, I want to let you know who they are. So,
Hello, everybody.
tell the folks who you are.
I'm Assemblyman Mike Benedetto, representing the Northeast Bronx, the communities of Frogs Neck, Co-op City, Pelham Bay.
All right, I want to do this. So we talked about education a little bit a few minutes ago.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about what you're fighting for this year.
Well, I'm chairman of the Education Committee in the New York State Assembly. My main job is to make sure we get adequate funding for education programs throughout the entire state of New York. That's over 750 individual school districts who are always looking for the right amount of money and to make sure that all their teachers, also all their students, are to be prepared to be the leaders of tomorrow.
All right, I want to do this. So we also spoke about policy change. We also spoke about education for children that are autistic and differently able. I have my son up here for Advocacy Day. He's 19 and he has special needs, and he also has epilepsy, a dual diagnosis. So we have a couple of things to do. So we spoke, right?
Yes, we did. And one of the things I've been fighting for years, and to tell you the absolute truth, because I want to be candid with you, I came into be the chairmanship of the Education Committee saying, my God, maybe now I have a chance to kind of equalize the amount of money we give into special education. Make it equal to what we're giving to general education, okay? Because there has always been a discrepancy, and we've helped, but not enough, okay? I want to be honest. There are still major differences to overcome in funding for the education of children who need it much more than any
other
child.
student.
You better know it, and we will continue to fight for it.
Thank you. I want to thank you so much. We are up here for Advocacy Day, BronxNet, over 30 years. You came up and you spoke for Michael today. Michael, and we have Michael out of BronxNet in the building. Grazie. Grazie.
Kendra, thank you for the great work you do. An assembly member, thank you for your work for the people of the Bronx and New York State.
We love
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Michael.
you.
You're bringing tears to my eyes.
Oh my goodness, Michael Max.
Good day, everybody.
Love you guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
From Windows of Hip Hop.
Say it one more time, Lana.
My name is Ilana from Windows of Hip Hop, and I'm the youth coordinator and youth outreach coordinator. And basically, we foster a bridge between hip hop and the youth, and we find ways for them to basically learn the 4 elements of hip hop, which include DJing, b-boying, MCing, graffiti, and just finding a way to intertwine that with education and making it, you know, an experience where the older generation that laid the foundation can connect with the new leaders of our new generation. So that's Windows of Hip Hop.
All right, I'm going to get a little quick look, okay? Hold on. Crossover TV in the building. You know it's Crossover TV. We out here in Albany.
Out here in Albany.
Yes, I like this too. Oh, we got to talk about that Tupac. It's all in. Yes, all about hip hop. So, can I invite you guys up on Crossover TV?
Of course, anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
All right, we're going to set this thing up. And you know somebody I know.
I do.
and Shakira.
Yes, the lovely.
And what we met at Bob Lee's show. So
Yeah,
funny.
Dr.
I was on
Yes.
Bob Lee's and show,
He's
and you was
amazing.
on.
WLS.
Yes.
Shout out to BLS.
Shout out to BLS. And tell the folks your name.
I'm Gio, aka Gio the Gold. I'm a TV personality and artist. I'm based out of the Bronx, New York, and I'm here as a talent and helping out one of my friends with the rap.
All right. So I want to give you guys a big shout out. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey, Michael. Grazie. Good. Oh, BX, baby. Yo, Bernardo. Listen, it's all about Advocacy Day. Providing food for the community, blankets, and we love you, Bishop Burkett. And he's also one of my bishops on Crossover TV Live with Kendra. Meet my bishop and pastors, and I love you. Thank you so much for all the work that you do.
So Kendra, just the spiritual community is a big part of the resurgence of the Bronx, how the Bronx was misrepresented in mainstream media and in Hollywood. And that's why we advocated for the existence of BronxNet. We had to fight for the existence, and now we're fighting for the continuation of these channels.
We're gonna start the show right now. This is my favorite part. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, this is Angel, and I am one of the instructors for the in-studio production. Here at BronxNet, we offer classes that can help you elevate, expand, and start your television career. All you have to do is sign up at bronxnet.org/education. For the past 7 years, I have been in various productions, spanning from talk shows, independent films, news reports, art displays, teachings, musical performances, and many more. Ain't that right, Angel? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Angel. There are a lot of creative individuals that we're just waiting to sign up for the class. And if I may, can I also express thank you, Angel. That's all the time we have left. Visit bronxnet.org/education and become a producer by taking the course. The class I offer is also in English, en español y también bilingüe. Nos vemos en la próxima clase.